So today I'm going to be addressing a really common problem if you're sitting at a desk. It's called kyphosis, or a kyphotic posture. And essentially it's kind of a hunchback thing with the head forward that you'll see quite regularly, because we spend a lot of time at our desks, hunched over, looking down at the screen like so, or we're on the train, we're looking at our phones like this. And the more you do that, the more it affects your posture, and that ends up becoming your posture, which is not good. So there's a few things going on. The first thing you need to do is release your chest, okay? Because what's happening is your chest here gets very tight, and that causes your shoulders to be rounded. The second thing you need to do is strengthen your upper back and understand how to retract the scapula properly. So there's two things. You're releasing the chest, and then you're strengthening and retracting the scapula. So I'm going to give you 4 different exercises that you can do on a daily basis that will help with your kyphotic posture. The first exercise you can use to strengthen your upper back and understand how to retract the scapula is a push-up plus. There's 2 ways you can do it. The first way is slightly easier, and at first this might feel very strange and you won't be doing it properly, probably, but don't worry about it. Okay, so your shoulders are directly above your hands. Basically, you're doing a press up with your shoulders only, your scapula and your shoulder blades only, so like this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm pushing myself away from the ground, and then I'm bringing my shoulder blades back, and it's like I'm trying to crack a nut between my shoulder blades. So as I said, it will be a strange movement at first. Okay, so up and down, full range of motion. Keep those arms locked out. I'm not bending like this, okay? All the movement comes from the shoulder blades. The longer that you've been sitting at a desk in that kind of hunched position, the more difficult you're going to find this exercise, because you may have never moved your shoulder blades in this way, and that's part of the problem. Okay, so once you've mastered that moving up and down, you can then go into a full push-up plus position, which looks like this. Okay, so you're in a press-up position, and you do the same thing. It's a lot harder though. Okay, so full range of motion, arms stay locked out, squeezing and cracking that nut between the shoulder blades. Don't sag your back like this, keep a strong core. Okay, so all the movement comes from your shoulder blades. As I said, it should feel like you're touching the shoulder blades behind you as you retract. Aim for 3 sets of between 10 and 20 reps. Once you start to kind of feel a burning sensation, then it's doing its job properly. This next exercise is called a WY raise. My friend Tim Blakey taught me this. It's a very effective exercise. You should check him out though. He's got great tips on how to improve posture. You do need some equipment for this one. So you need a resistance band or something elastic. You can use a door. A lot of the resistance bands come with a door attachment, so you can use that, all right? So basically you're gonna grab hold of the band, and it's not too strong, okay? It should be quite loose. Basically you stand feet apart. The first thing you're gonna do is gonna grab hold. You can wrap around if you like, but I'm not going to. You're gonna bring your hands into this position, so you're squeezing your shoulder blades. You then bring your arms round, so you're basically making a W with your whole arms. Okay, then you bring it up into a Y, and then back down. Okay, make sure you're not flaring the rib cage or arching your back. Up into a Y with the hands, and down. Okay, what this is doing, this is teaching you to move and strengthen the scapula, again, those shoulder blades. So again, you pull this way, round into that W position, make sure you're not flaring the rib cage, don't try and keep everything in, tilt hips towards your belly button. Up, down. Nice and controlled, squeezing those shoulder blades. Let's go 5 more. 5, so I'm already starting to feel burning in the shoulder blades right now. Into that W position, arms locked out. Relax there. Good, so I can really feel that in the shoulder blades. Don't worry if you don't have the equipment to do that. The push-up plus is very effective in its own right. So this next exercise is called a shoulder dislocation, which sounds awful, but it is actually very effective at stretching the chest and allowing the scapula to move properly. So you're gonna need a resistance band, not too strong. Again, this is pretty weak. You can wrap the band around depending on how strong you want it. But the first thing you can do is gonna bring your shoulders up, like so, arms locked out, completely straight the whole way around. then you're aiming to bring that band all the way around, touch your bum, back round, keep those shoulders up, reset at the bottom of each one. So here, shoulders up. I should say, if you've got any shoulder injuries, do not try this unless you're with a personal trainer or someone that knows what they're doing. Shoulders up, like so. As you start to get better, you can do more loops or get a stronger resistance band. Okay, so shoulders up. Okay, so there's two parts to this. That's the first part. The second part is, once you've done like 10 reps, I'll show you from this side, you then bring your hands here and stop. You keep your arms completely straight, and then basically you pulse. And I'm pulsing from my shoulder blades. And what this is doing, stretching my chest, but also getting me used to squeezing those shoulder blades together. So literally I'm squeezing and cracking that nut between my shoulder blades right now. That's where the movement comes from. Okay, if you want to feel it more, wrap around again. This band's going to break. Pulse. Like so. So aim for 3 sets of 10 all the way around, shoulder dislocations, and at the end of each 10, you're pulsing here for 10. This next stretch is actually really simple. All you're going to be doing is lying down. So ideally, you need a bench or anything that allows you to have a flat back with your head resting on something, and you can put your arms out. So you're going to lie down flat. I like to bring my feet onto the bench because then my lower back isn't arched. If you have your feet off, it's not very comfortable. You want your lower back to be flat. So literally all you're doing is pointing your arms towards the ceiling and then bringing those hands out. And literally you're just going to lie here. And basically, depending on where you're the tightest, you'll feel it in different places. So what I do is I do like snow angel kind of with my arms, and wherever it feels tight, I just hold. And you can hold this between 1 and 2 minutes. And that's it. Okay, what this is doing is lengthening and stretching your chest muscles in a really relaxed way, letting gravity do the work for you. If you feel like you're not feeling it, you could grab a 1 kilo weight in each hand, nothing too heavy, but you should start to feel it if you hold it for 1 to 2 minutes. Because remember, you're spending a lot of time hunched over at a desk, so you need to spend as much time as possible balancing that out. So do this once or twice a day. And if you want to increase the stretch, hold a 1 kilo weight in each hand. So just like with my activation videos, this is not a quick process. Think about it. If you spend 8 hours a day sitting down, hunched over at a desk, 5 days a week, for years at a time, it's going to take time to balance that out. At first, you're going to be wondering why you're doing these exercises, but I promise you, if you're consistent with them, it will start to make a difference. So try and incorporate these different exercises every day, ideally twice a day, consistently, and then reap the rewards.